My cheating wife's mouth shut down with shock when I showed up at a party with her lover's beautiful. We were 3 weeks out with Vanessa. Dress fittings done, venue booked, menu finalized. Her Pinterest board had been rated for every last flower arrangement and table setting. I had just paid the final invoice on the live band. Vanessa said she wanted a classy, upscale vibe for the reception, but still wanted to rage, whatever the hell that meant. Her name was already on my health insurance. We were discussing kids' names. Logan if it's a boy, Emma if it's a girl. My life was locked in until I got a message that detonated the whole thing. It came from Chloe. Don't marry her. I stared at my phone. 3 words. No punctuation. No context. Chloe and I weren't exactly close. She was Vanessa's old friend from undergrad, the kind of girl who knew where everyone's skeletons were buried. We'd shared a few drinks over the years at barbecues and game nights. She always struck me as sharp, sarcastic, a little too blunt for Vanessa's taste. I wrote back, "What's this about?" She replied almost instantly. "Not over text. Meet me, Old Pine Park, 3 p.m. No emojis, no small talk." I showed up 20 minutes early. The park was mostly empty. Gray sky, wind stirring dry leaves across the benches. I sat in silence, watching squirrels fight over nothing, feeling like the joke was already on me. She walked up in jeans and a dark hoodie. No makeup, no bullcrap. She spotted me before I reached the bench. "Hey," she said. Nothing else. No smile, no small talk. Just that one word, unreadable. "Hey," I replied. She didn't sit, just pulled out her phone, thumbed something, then handed it to me. No explanation, just the glow of the screen between us. It was a photo. Vanessa, my Vanessa, wearing a white sash that said, "Bride," to be sitting on a couch in some club. Her mouth was locked, with a shirtless man in a cop hat. Her hands were in his hair. His hand was under her dress. You could see her left thigh and part of her underwear. I blinked. "This was the bachelorette party 2 days ago," Chloe said. Her voice was flat, like she was done sugarcoating anything she swiped. Next photo. Vanessa grinding on the guy's lap, head thrown back, eyes closed. Third photo. Vanessa laughing with a bottle in one hand and her heel in the other. Her lipstick was smeared. Her eyes weren't even focused. "She left with him," Chloe said. I didn't respond, just stared at the image like it might rearrange itself into something forgivable. Vanessa had been the one who insisted we do the bachelor and bachelorette parties. Early said she didn't want to look bloated or hungover at the wedding. "Give me time to detox and glow," she joked. I remembered laughing. I remember thinking how thoughtful that sounded. It felt pathetic now. I handed the phone back, breathing slow through my nose. My jaw was locked. Every muscle in my face felt like it belonged to someone else. "She told the girls not to say anything to you," Chloe added quietly. "Said it was her last night as a free woman. Said she earned it." There was no drama in her voice, just resignation, like she'd already burned through her anger before she even sent the message that brought me here. "Why are you telling me this?" I asked. She didn't blink. "Because you deserve to know what you're marrying into." I stared past her, past the park, into nothing. I nodded once. That was it. No rage, no questions, just the slow, settling silence of something snapping deep inside you. I went home without a word. Vanessa was working late. I didn't wait up. I packed. Not everything, just the things that mattered. Laptop, passport, some clothes. Left the engagement photos stuck on the fridge like a joke. Took the hard drive from my PC, left the rest. By the time she got home, I was already gone. I didn't block her number. I wanted to see her scramble. The first day was texts. "Where are you? Everything okay? I'm getting worried." Second day, more aggressive. "You're scaring me? If this is some kind of cold feet thing, at least call me, please." I said nothing. On the third day, I cracked. Turned my phone back on at a motel 2 towns over. It rang within 10 minutes. Finally, she breathed. Her voice was shaky. "Where are you? What the hell is going on? You know damn well what's going on." Long pause. I could hear her breathing. "I don't. I saw the pictures." Silence. "You left with a nightclub dancer." That's not what it looks like." "Stop. Just stop. I know what I saw. I didn't sleep with him." "You think I'm stupid? I was drunk. It was a mistake. One night. That's it. And you didn't plan on telling me, right? You were just gonna walk down the aisle, lie through your vows and play house like nothing happened." I didn't mean for it to go that far, but it did. Her voice cracked. "Please let me explain. Not like this. Let's talk face to face." I got nothing to say. I hung up. She called 20 more times. I let it ring, then came the voicemails. The tears, the panic, the rage. I listened to every one of them. Update 2. My cheating wife's mouth shut down with shock when I showed up at a party with her lover's beautiful wife and daughter. What happened next was absolutely savage. I listened to every one of them. Not because I cared, because I wanted to burn every last illusion. Then came the guilt campaign. The texts kept coming. "I'm falling apart here. You're the only one who can calm me down." The messages came hourly. Then every 10 minutes, day and night. She switched from texting to voicemails, like hearing her voice would break me. When that didn't work, she turned to guilt. "Everyone's asking questions. Do you know how humiliated I feel? I made one mistake and you're destroying everything. You're punishing me worse than I deserve. Like I was the villain for walking away. Like betrayal was a thing you measured in percentages." Then the threats started. Some were vague. "I don't know what I'll do if you stay silent. I can't handle this alone." I saved every message, every voicemail. I didn't respond. I just documented. Then nothing. Like she'd finally run out of words. Or she was planning something worse. 3 days later, I came into the office like any other morning, coffee in hand, brain on autopilot, ignoring the usual chatter at the front desk. I turned the corner toward the hallway that led to my floor and stopped dead. I saw not Vanessa. Vanessa's mother was sitting in the lobby. Hair perfect, expensive coat, a purse that probably cost more than my rent. She looked like she belonged in a country club, not standing awkwardly in front of an office building. Her eyes locked onto mine. She didn't smile. "Can we talk somewhere private?" she asked. I didn't answer. I just turned and walked toward the back hallway near the loading dock. Concrete floors, flickering light, no people. She followed without a word. We stopped just outside the freight elevator. She didn't sit, didn't even lean on the wall. "Vanessa's a wreck," she said. I stayed silent. "She hasn't eaten. She barely sleeps. She won't stop crying." I waited. "She made a mistake." "No," I said. "She made a choice. Then she lied about it. She didn't sleep with him. I don't believe her anymore. She was drunk. It was one stupid night. It was a night she made sure I'd never know about." The mother's expression tightened. Her tone shifted, sharper now. "Maybe if you'd been a better fiancé, she wouldn't have felt the need to act out." That hit like a slap. But I didn't flinch. "So it's my fault now." I'm saying, maybe she felt unloved, ignored. "You're cold, withdrawn. You always have been." I laughed, low and bitter. "She planned every second of this wedding." I followed her lead from the cake to the color palette. "If I was distant, it's because I thought I was with someone I could trust." "You two were perfect together," she snapped. "No," I said. "She was perfect when I didn't know who she was." She looked around the hallway like she needed air. "You're really going to walk away from everything? From her? From us? There's nothing left to walk from." Her jaw locked. "You're making a mistake," she said, voice icy now. "And when this all blows over, don't expect her to take you back." I nodded once. "Goodbye, ma'am." Then I turned and walked away without looking back. I blocked her number, but it wasn't the end. 2 days after that, the father came. He didn't ask to come in. He just waited in the motel parking lot until I walked out to smoke, leaned against a silver BMW, tapping his phone. The second he saw me, he pocketed it. "You're hard to track down," he said. I took a drag, said nothing. "We need to talk." "Pretty sure we don't." He stepped closer. "You embarrassed her. You humiliated our family. People are talking. She did that herself." He narrowed his eyes. "We've put down over $30,000. Venue, food, florals, dress, photographer. Do you even grasp the damage you've caused?" "Oh, I get it," I said coolly. "She cheats, and I owe you money. You walked away from a binding agreement. Show me the contract." He didn't like that. "I always thought you were a little off," he muttered. "Quiet. Always watching. My wife said you had killer eyes. Should have trusted her gut." "Killer eyes," I repeated. "Nice. She's still willing to forgive you. That's generous of her." He stepped in close. Too close. "Listen, son, I don't care how much this hurt your feelings. You either show up and fix this or you'll be paying us back in court." I flicked the cigarette at his feet. "Try me." The next morning, Vanessa showed up not unannounced. She texted first, said she needed 5 minutes, said she was parked outside. I looked out the window. She was in her white Lexus, engine running, arms gripping the steering wheel like she might snap it in half. I don't know why I went down. Maybe I wanted to see how far she'd fall. I got in the passenger seat. "You look like crap," I said. She gave a humorless laugh. "So do you." We sat in silence for a moment. Her eyeliner was smudged, but she'd clearly tried to dress up. Her lips were painted like she thought this was a date. "I miss you," she whispered. "No, you miss control." She looked at me, really looked like she was searching for some old version of me behind my face. Then she leaned in, voice low. "Look, if it'll make things right, you can sleep with someone." I blinked. "What?" "I'm serious," she said. "Just once. Pick whoever. I won't be mad. I mean, we're engaged. It should count for something. I don't want this to be the end." "You think this is about revenge?" "I think it's about balance," she said carefully. "You deserve something too after what happened." I stared at her. No emotion in my face, just stillness. "You think letting me sleep with someone else erases what you did?" "I think it's a gesture." "No," I said. "It's pathetic." Her face twisted. "I'm trying, okay? I'm doing everything I can to fix your image." I cut in. "Not your character. Don't do that," she snapped. "Don't sit there all holier than thou, like you haven't ever. I never cheated on you. You're acting like I'm a criminal." "No," I said, leaning closer. "I'm acting like a man who saw his fiancée tongue wrestling a dancer in front of her friends and then trying to buy him off with permission to screw around. That's not love. That's damage." Something in her cracked. She hit me. Not hard, just a quick slap to my shoulder, then another open palm to the chest. "I hate you," she yelled. She shoved me hard enough to rock me against the door. "You're cold," she hissed. "You're heartless." I looked her in the eyes, calm, unshaken. "No, I just finally see you clearly." I opened the door and stepped out. "Don't walk away again," she screamed behind me. "You're not finished with me." I turned. "Once you offered me a hall pass, like a discount coupon." I said, "That's all I need to know about you." Then I walked away, and this time, I didn't look back. But Vanessa didn't vanish after that car conversation. If anything, she doubled down. She started sending voice notes instead of texts, like hearing her voice would crack me open. Always crying, always repeating the same cycle. "Please, let's talk. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I'll do anything." The next day, she showed up at my job. She was waiting outside the building like some 1940s noir, film coat, sunglasses, arms wrapped tight around herself. I stopped cold, then came to her. "If you come near me again," I said, "I'll call the police." Update 3. My cheating wife's mouth shut down with shock when I showed up at a party with her lover's beautiful wife and daughter. What happened next was absolutely savage. I said, "I'll call the police." Her jaw dropped. "You'd really do that to me? Try me." I turned and walked straight inside. She stayed planted on the sidewalk, watching. That night, I booked a legal consult. The next morning, I sat across from a lawyer in a quiet office above a tile showroom guy in his 40s. No nonsense. Sleeves rolled. He looked over the messages on my phone one by one. "This is more than enough," he said. "She's not leaving you alone. Showing up, blowing up your phone, that's a pattern." "She's not dangerous," I said. "She's just spiraling." "That's enough," he replied. "You don't have to wait until she crosses a bigger line. She's already crossed plenty." He tapped his pen against the screen. "The stuff at your job is what seals it. Showing up where you work uninvited, that's pressure. It's not okay." I leaned back. She used to be calculated. Now it's like she's on fire and trying to drag me in with her. "Breakups don't make people lose it," he said. "They just show you who already didn't have it together." He drafted everything fast, walked me through the language. "This won't stop her feelings," he added, "but it'll put a wall between them and you." 3 days later, the order was served directly to her by a court officer. No contact, no calls, no messages, no showing up anywhere. I was known to be. I thought that would be the end of it. It wasn't. I was grabbing coffee in the office kitchen when I heard the front desk girl's voice call down the hall. She says she's your." I walked out. Vanessa was in the lobby. Black blazer heels, lipstick, like she was going to war. Her face was tight, chest rising fast, something thick and stapled in her hand. The moment she saw me, she marched forward and threw a stack of legal papers in my face. Pages slapped across my chest and hit the floor. "You want a war?" she snapped. "Fine, here's your war." I looked down. Motor gun. My name, civil filing, $32,800. The same list I'd seen the day before now warm from her hand. "They're suing me." "No, we're suing you," she hissed. "You don't just disappear and humiliate people like this. You left me to clean up the mess." "You made the mess," I said coldly. "I made one mistake. You made 10 after it." She stepped closer. "You think walking away makes you a hero? You're a coward, and you're an actress in a role that's not landing." Her jaw clenched. Her eyes shimmered, but not with tears. Rage. "My parents are respected. I am respected. You think you can just vanish and make us look like trash?" I bent down slowly, picked up the papers and handed them back to her. "You're doing a great job of that on your own." She slapped them out of my hand again. "I swear to God if you don't make this right." "What? You'll cry harder? Send another threat? Show up with more emotional damages?" She looked around, realizing people were watching, eyes on us. Phones maybe filming? She lowered her voice. "This doesn't have to get worse." I smiled. "Oh, it's already over." I turned and walked away. She didn't follow this time. Later that afternoon, I dropped the crumpled lawsuit packet on my lawyer's desk. "She brought it herself," I said, threw it in my face in front of my coworkers. He flipped through it calmly. "Venue deposit, catering, floral arrangements." He read aloud. "Makeup, hair, trials, photographer, dress." He nodded. "They're embarrassing themselves. They don't have a contract, no prenup, no written agreement on financial responsibility. The emotional damage part is laughable. It'll be tossed before a judge even blinks. So I don't owe them anything? Not a dime." I leaned back. "Good." He flipped to the last page and the cherry on top. "Emotional damages for abandoning the bride during a committed contract of engagement." I leaned back in the chair. "They really put that in writing?" He nodded. "They think you'll fold. Settle fast to avoid press embarrassment. Gossip. They don't know me." That night I posted a simple note online. "The wedding is canceled. There will be no new date. Please respect my privacy." 10 minutes later, I got a voice message from Vanessa's sister. Her voice was thick with venom. "You're breaking her, you know that? She's not sleeping. She's not eating. She's going to end up in the damn hospital. And you're just standing there watching her bleed." I didn't respond. I didn't even save it. Later that same day, my phone rang from a number I didn't recognize. Voicemail. Her voice shaky, thin. "I'm going to the bridge. If you don't come, it's on you." I drove like a man possessed, heart steady, not out of fear for her life, but because if she really pulled this stunt, there had to be a line in the sand. Once and for all, it was raining when I got there. Cold, needling rain that stung your face. She was standing at the rail, arms spread, soaked to the bone in that dumb white trench coat she used to love. "Don't," I yelled, jogging up. She turned slowly. Mascara washed down her cheeks, strands of wet hair plastered to her neck. Her smile was soft, too soft. "I knew you'd come." "You don't scare me," I said. "I scare myself," she whispered. I stepped closer, hands in pockets. Calm, no panic, not this time. "You don't want to jump, Vanessa?" She tilted her head. "How do you know?" "Because you wore makeup." She blinked, her lips parted. "What if this was real? You wouldn't care how you looked. You're here because you want me to come running, cry, beg, hold you?" Silence. "You don't want to die?" I said. "You want to win. I want you to see what you're doing to me." "No," I said. "I want you to see what you did to us." "You could forgive me," she said, voice shaking. "People get over worse. I'm not people." She took a deep breath. "Please just don't leave me like this." "You already left me," I said. "You betrayed me. You lied. You made everyone lie for you. That's who you are." She slapped me hard, rain dripping off her fingers. I didn't move. I turned. This time I didn't look back. She didn't jump. The courtroom wasn't packed, but the tension made it feel suffocating. Her parents sat at the plaintiff's table, stiff and polished. Her mother in pearls and posture, her father in a tailored suit with a smug look that didn't last long. Vanessa wasn't there. Of course she wasn't. She had them fight her battles while she stayed hidden. The hearing moved fast at first. Her parents' lawyers stood and recited their claim like a script. My clients invested substantial resources toward a formal union that was abruptly abandoned by the defendant. This caused not only financial loss, but emotional distress. My lawyer stood. Your Honor, permission to respond directly? The judge nodded. Go ahead. He walked forward, calm, controlled. Let's talk about why this wedding didn't happen, he began, not in theory, in detail. He dropped a binder of printed texts and screenshots onto the table with a solid thud. These are messages exchanged between Ms. Vanessa Morgan and her friends days before and after the bachelorette party. He reached into his case and pulled out a sealed plastic evidence bag. Inside, a delicate pair of white lace underwear, sealed, labeled. The judge blinked. The gallery murmured, these were recovered from a man named Marcus Bell. Update 4. My cheating wife's mouth shut down with shock when I showed up at a party with her lover's beautiful wife and daughter. What happened next was absolutely savage. These were recovered from a man named Marcus Bell, my lawyer continued. He was the performer at Ms. Morgan's bachelorette event. He left the city shortly after, but was recently contacted and interviewed. My lawyer turned a page in the binder. He provided a sworn statement. It confirms that Ms. Morgan left the venue with him that night, spent the night at his apartment, and then left these behind. Gasps, audible gasps. The judge leaned forward, adjusting his glasses. You're saying this came directly from the individual involved? Yes, Your Honor. He also stated that Ms. Morgan told him, and I quote, it's my last night as a free woman. Might as well enjoy it. Her mother let out a faint, embarrassed sound. Her father's hand clenched on the table. Is the plaintiff disputing any of this? The judge asked, voice sharp. Their attorney stammered. Your Honor, my clients were unaware of these developments. That's your defense? The judge snapped. Unaware. He lifted the plastic bag with 2 fingers, clearly disgusted. This is not how a bride prepares for a marriage. This is not emotional injury. This is a cover-up. He turned his gaze on her parents. You're lucky I'm only dismissing the case. He nodded at me. This man doesn't owe you $1, and your daughter owes him the truth. He paused, then added, cold and clear. Maybe what she really needs is a mirror. He slammed the gavel. Case dismissed with prejudice. They left fast. Her father marched ahead like a man trying to outrun humiliation. Her mother followed, heels clicking behind him, gripping the dismissed court papers in her manicured hand. But just as they passed through the courthouse hallway, her mother snapped. This is your fault? She hissed at her husband, loud, sharp, no more pretending. He spun around to face her. Excuse me? You were the one who let her grow up thinking she could lie her way out of anything. Oh, don't you start with that, he growled. You're the one who covered for her every time she screwed up. I didn't cover for her. I protected her. Someone had to, because you were too busy golfing to be a father. The argument exploded in the open hallway, echoing off the marble walls. A clerk froze behind the desk. A pair of law students stopped mid-step. People were watching now. She humiliated us. Her mother barked. She disgraced this family. Her father cut her off, pointing toward me. He didn't disgrace us. She did. She turned toward me, eyes burning, finger outstretched, like she was delivering a verdict of her own. This is what you wanted, isn't it? To ruin her, to make us a circus. I didn't move. You did that yourselves. Her mother's lips curled. You're disgusting. I smiled. And you're dismissed. Before she could spit something else, the security guard stepped in. All right, take it outside, both of you. Her father didn't need to be told twice. He stormed out the front doors. Her mother stood there for another second, breathing heavily, eyes on me like she still thought she could win with a glare. But the world had stopped listening. Then she turned and left. I pushed through the front doors into the cold afternoon air, and there she was, Chloe, leaning against the brick column by the steps, arms folded, scarf loose around her neck, eyes steady on mine like she'd been waiting there the whole time. I stopped. You stayed, I said. I figured someone should. I walked down the steps, loosened my tie halfway, exhaled. That was a circus. You were the only one who didn't look like a clown. I almost smiled. You saw everything. She nodded. The meltdown, the father turning gray, the mother blaming gravity, and I'm glad you burned it all down. We stood in silence a beat. The city moved around us. Horns, traffic, life going on. For the first time in months, I felt still. Want to grab a drink? She asked. You look like you need something stronger than coffee. Honestly, I said, I just want to sit somewhere quiet with someone who doesn't fake, cry, or throw court papers. She raised an eyebrow. That's a weirdly sweet thing to say. I shrugged. I'm a weird guy now. Chloe hesitated, then nodded toward the street. I'm parked around the corner. We'll go to my place. I've got whiskey. In silence. Perfect. We walked side by side. No touching, no rush. Just two people who'd been circling each other in a storm and finally stepped out into clear air. I didn't know where it would go, but for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel angry or bitter or broken. I just felt ready. 3 weeks passed. No more texts from Vanessa, no more bridge theatrics, no voice memos, letters, or random show-ups. She went completely dark. At first, I thought maybe she finally moved on, found someone else to manipulate, or maybe she buried it all under therapy and wine. But silence doesn't always mean peace. It means something's brewing. I didn't ask about her, didn't search her socials, didn't care. But But the world has a way of delivering news, whether you want it or not. It was Chloe who told me. We were on her couch one evening, half watching a movie neither of us cared about. When her phone lit up with a message, she stared at it for a moment, then handed it to me. From my cousin. She still runs in Vanessa's circle. Sort of, the message read. Vanessa checked herself in. Psychiatric care facility. Breakdown. Her parents tried to keep it quiet. I read it twice, then set the phone down. No reaction, no smile, no satisfaction. Just a long exhale. She cracked? I asked. Chloe nodded. Apparently, she disappeared for 2 days. Left her phone at home. They found her sleeping in her car at a rest stop an hour outside the city. She didn't remember getting there. She playing it for sympathy. Chloe looked at me. No, this was real. Messy. Real. Her mother went silent for days. Her father's been calling lawyers trying to get records scrubbed. And Vanessa. Well, I guess she finally ran out of people to lie to. I didn't say anything after a while. Chloe, do you feel bad for her? I thought about it. No, I said quietly. I just feel nothing. That was the part that surprised me the most. Not the breakdown, not the silence, but the weightlessness of it all. She had burned the whole structure to the ground, and in the ashes there was nothing left for me to mourn. This is where our story comes to an end. Dear listeners, please share your thoughts in the comments section below. And don't forget to like, share, and follow.